Black again. We black again. Yes, sir. It's Brother Friday R double R. Here, the seven Asiatic black man here teaching. Talking today, little stream of consciousness. It's a topic that's been on my mind for a long time, and something that I've been building my information, building my research about, stacking up research information, because I want to come out with a bomb. I'm gonna drop a big bomb. So that's the plan. But here, I just kind of want to talk about the idea a little bit because for me, when I talk, it helps me to order my thoughts and order my steps. For me, talking is like thinking. It helps me think. It helps me to process and get through the steps I need to take. Because as I'm talking, I'm thinking at the same time, and it helps me to just to order myself. So I like to talk. It's one of my strengths. It's one of my weaknesses. So what we're doing here, what I wanted to talk on, finally get into the topic. Thanks for hanging in there for that intro. Anyways, so I just want to get in here. Well, the topic is compromised black minds. Now, what is that all about? Who am I talking about? Why am I talking about compromised black minds? And who are these compromised black minds? And why are they compromised if they're black? How did they get compromised? Why do they not know that they're compromised? These are the things that we're going to address, right? Because I deal with a lot of the black community, the original people community, the original people's knowledge, and how it's used against us, right? How our stuff is taken, was usurped, and then used against us, like all the Abrahamic religions, because they all started with black people and then were stolen by other people and are controlled today by other people. But the stories originally began with black people, even black Arabs. So, because the Arabs were black originally first, and we can prove that, talk about that later. But anyways, what we have is our group or population of black people and black minds, and we have all kinds of different black minds and black people in our group, right? We have the real pro-black all the way to the sellout, if you will. You know what I mean? And everything in between. And so we have to know. We have to know and be aware, like, of who we're dealing with at the time. And so, a lot of times you find out how people are and who people are by how they speak, and certain things they say. I have another idea that I'm gonna build another YouTube channel and another company that's gonna be doing talks addressing cliches, because cliches have been used for so long. A lot of the cliches out here have been used for so long and never objectified against, never, challenged. And so that's how a lot of the bad stuff continues to happen, is because people just say, oh, well, it is what it is. Or they use these cliches like that, and it's like, well, no, maybe it isn't what it is. Or maybe, that's the kind of mind that I have. And so that's the kind of mind that, peace, Queen, how you doing? Yes, I'm driving. I'm on the freeway right now, talking my head off. But, so, anyways, getting back to the topic. I'm gonna hit it right on. Okay, so 1865, right? When does slavery end? Slavery ended 1865-ish, right, in America. And so, how long was slavery? Slavery started in like the early 1500s, right, in America, like 1515, around there. So, all the way to, when is that? When it's free to 1865? It's like 337 years, something like that. 350 years of slavery or whatever. So the white people had us enslaved here for like 300, 400 years, something like that, right? Then what happens is they were fighting to keep us as slaves. Some of the whites, I guess, were okay with us becoming free, I guess. Some weren't. Some wanted, that slave money. And so we had that fight for our freedom, 1865. Now, what you got to realize is, in the South, before 1900, that's like within 30 years, within 35 years, we had black collegiate fraternities and sororities. Put that in your mouth, in your pipe, and smoke it. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. We have black collegiate fraternities and sororities 30 years after the abolishment of slavery. 30 years. We just had 350 years of slavery. Within 30 years, you gonna tell me my connection back? Okay, anyways. Okay, so 30 years, we got collegiate fraternities and sororities because the white people knew they need black people that they can use, right? Slavery's over. Slavery's done. You can't just free, beat, and enslave black people anymore. We can't just do that openly. How is this going to evolve? How is this going to change in the future for us to still maintain some sort of benefit as white people from this other race, right? That we think we're better than, right? So what they did was they're gonna say, well, we need to, they knew that the black people like to stay in their little bubbles, deal with other black people, and they think they're not gonna be fooled or bamboozled or whatever, because they think they're dealing with straight up and down black people and not compromised black people. So now what you get is the white people become aware of that, okay? There's black people that don't want to be loyal to us, and there's black people that do want to be loyal to us, just like in slave times. You had blacks that were rebellious and wanted to run away or turn and kill master, and you had them Samuel L. Jackson people, what did they talk about? It was shucking and jiving for massa and wanted and loved massa and wanted. I'm gonna tell on my own people. I'm gonna go tell massa so that I don't get beat, so that I can get an extra piece of loaf of bread, so that I can get some kind of benefit. That's how they use blacks against blacks. It's from slavery. That's how far back this goes. It just a system, a sort of system where we can encourage more and more black people to be loyal to us and to our cause. Now, how can we do that? We're going to use black people to do that. We're going to use black people to attract more black people to our cause, because these black people are going to be blinded by the black skin and not see any deeper and see what's truly happening 3 levels deep down or 3 levels above or whatever in the back halls and behind the closed doors. They're not going to know what's happening with this real white people behind the closed doors. They're just going to see our puppets, the black people that are running these fraternities. And if you ever notice, none of those black people are really pro-black. They say they are, but they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing for black people. They don't do nothing for, and that's what you got to realize about all the collegiate fraternities and sororities, the black collegiate fraternities and sororities. They don't really do nothing. They don't really do nothing. But they say they do. They don't really do nothing. It's just become networks of black people to assist other black people that are just like them. So if you're not just like them, it's of no use to you. It's of you can't use it, you can't utilize it. You have to become like the system. You have to become like them to get any benefit. And that's what black people are teaching other black people, because that's what white people taught those black people that they have in those leadership positions, right? Loyalty. You must be loyal to us or you're gonna get alienated, ostracized, and you're not gonna have any benefit in your lifetime to live a nice life, right? See, what you gotta understand is they did this on so many fronts. This is just one front I'm talking about. This is just the collegiate aspect. They also did it military. They also did it religiously. They also did it non-religiously with the esoteric world, because they control all that shit too, and they tell you how to act and how to be to gain benefits in all those systems too. And if you don't know it, I'm telling you, you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain way to get accepted up in. They don't want you representing them if you're not acting a certain way, being a certain way, talking a certain way, going against the grain. Oh no, you will not get up into those upper inner circles. They're vetting you, they're watching you. That's what all of these schools and all of these groups are. It's a vetting process. That's all it is. It's a vetting process to see if you can sit down, shut up, and go along with whatever they want. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Can you sit down and shut up and go along? I'm not like that. I'm the one that's gonna stand up and be like, hey, y'all doing some fuck shit. I'm not down with this. And they're gonna be looking at me like, oh, we got another going against the grain. Let's get him out of here. Yeah, you're gonna have to get me out of here. Y'all gonna have to run me 9,000 miles from you. That's right. That's right. Run me away, because shit. The truth is seen and heard everywhere. Allah is seen and heard everywhere. So I gotta speak the truth. I gotta be the truth. I didn't say some fuck shit. If I see some fuck shit, I'm gonna point it out. So, hey, you know, so this is what it is. So now today, what we do is they built the collegiate fraternities, 30 years after slavery. They built, who are the blacks we're gonna use? Okay, we're gonna use these blacks that are compromised, these fraternal, sorority and fraternity blacks that will allow to be pro-black symbolically, but not really champion too hard or really get into the black community too much. We want them to be like surface level, like, okay, yeah, we're connected to the black, but not fight, because even historically, if you look back, even like Prince Hall Masons, historically, we used to fight and argue and stand up for causes and stuff like that back in the past, and we don't stand up for nothing now. Why? Because it's all about the relationships and money. They don't care about standing up for anything. They don't care about what's good or what's right or what's righteous. That's all out the window, because it's a business, right? And so that's why you gotta watch these people who are okay with a lot of these schools of thought, a lot of these systems becoming just businesses and just being run as businesses. And that's all they think it is. It's just business. Well, these esoteric schools and these schools, mystery schools of thought, didn't start off as businesses in the beginning. They didn't start off with day one like pay dues. Day one, who has a charter. Day one, da-da-da-da-da. Not all this stuff that they're worried about today. No, it was about imparting wisdom, right? Passing the knowledge down to the next generation. Blessing them. This is what we're missing. These are the big chunks we're missing today, and why I'm dissatisfied with a lot of Freemasonry, a lot of these esoteric schools that claim that they have the wisdom and the light and blah, blah, blah. They don't have nothing. They have fundraising. That's all they are. It's a social club of fundraising. It's nothing. So what you have is these institutes all over the U.S. that made these collegiate fraternities and sororities. You got to think about it, because why do black fraternities, why do they brand each other like slaves? Why do they brand each other with a hot iron brand like slaves? That's the sign to show you, to prove to you that white people still own you. Still own them people. Omega Psi Phi, all the Sigma, all the, you got them brands on you because a white person as at the top behind the closed doors you don't know about. You don't know. And so you think it's a black fraternity, but it's not. Then white people controlling you. How come none of the white fraternities brand each other? How come? Only the black people do that? That's some slavery shit. Are you kidding me? How did black people bring that over? What the fuck? White people get tattoos. Tattoos are cool. Why don't you get tattoos of your Omega Psi Phi? Tattoos are Sigma. Tattoos are Iota. Tattoos are, you know what I mean? Alpha. Tattoos are, I don't know who all does the branding, but this is crazy. None of the white people do it. They get tattoos. But you can remove a tattoo. That branding, you can't remove that. That's on your arm. That's on your arm for life. You cannot remove a brand. That's that hot iron on that skin that melts your skin and it keloids and it bubbles up and it keloids for life. That's showing you your commitment. And so that's the test that these white people wanted to see. We're going to establish these systems. We're going to test black people's loyalty to our cause. Whatever it is. It can have a black face, but we got to test their loyalty to it. And how are we going to test it? We're going to set up these hazing stuff from the beginning. They got to do some weird, crazy stuff. We're going to videotape them, or we're going to have something over them so that they feel locked in, so that they feel committed, so that they feel like, oh yeah, this is my brotherhood, so that they won't go against the grain. Because at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to train you to do, or not do, is not go against the grain. If you go against the grain, see what they want to teach you to do is, and they'll try to do, a lot of people told me too, oh, you have to finesse it, and you got to talk. No, that finessing will have you sitting on the sideline trying to talk to people that aren't listening to you for years, and they still ain't going to listen to you after you spent years sitting there trying to talk and teach them, because they don't get it. Because the enlightenment is for a small percentage. It's not for the majority. If you walk around here and we had 85% of these people out here enlightened, you know what I mean? It would be crazy. That's why we got like 5% of the population that's enlightened, because that's all you can do. That's all that can handle it. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy. So anyway, so we have, back on the subject, we got these collegiate blacks who are allowed to style all their stuff as black, but Greek. We call it Greek. It's so weird. They got all this, they're Greek and blah, 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 but they're trying to be like, oh, we're proud to be African. And we do African stuff, and we are blah, 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 blah. Yes, the first Greeks were black and Africans. We know that. But it's like, man, come on. Why don't y'all break away from the Greek stuff and just make your own? If it's black, it's black. Say it's African shit. I don't know. But they want to, again, be up under the white boys. And they don't, and it's a brainwash. It's like they don't get it, because they've been taught by their elder brothers that no, it's not the white boys. This is what it is. And so they just eat it up and go along with it, instead of questioning and be like, no, it's not what it is. This is like the white boys controlling us. This is like, how come, we're not allowed to be too pro-black? How come we're not allowed to be, if I'm real pro-black, I don't get accepted in these circles? Why is that? If I'm make the most money in the world in America, because they've gone through college, they have the degrees, they've been vetted, they've been tested, they won't blow up, they won't lose their composure, they've been tested on all that stuff through college and all that stuff to get to their jobs and all that stuff. They won't kick, they won't buck the system, they won't do any of that stuff, because they've been vetted and they've been tested, and they won't do it. And so that's how they get into these positions. And so that's why they think through their own hard work, they're getting these positions rather than through the alignment with the beast. But I'm going to point out, and I'm going to keep showing you that it's not through black people's hard work that they get these positions and benefits and money and better life than the majority of the average black people who aren't military, who aren't religious leaders, and who aren't collegiate or fraternity, because those are the three groups that have the most money in the black community: military, religious leaders, and fraternity and sorority members. Those are the blacks that, if you're not in a religion and you're black, if you're not a religious leader, if you're not a sorority or fraternity member, and if you're not in the military and you're black, you don't have money. You don't have money. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. If you don't work for the government in some capacity, if you're a black person, you don't have money. Your family does not have money. You guys are poor. You guys are poor. That's it right there. That's why so many black and brown people want to go to the military, because they see the benefit in it. But they're not seeing the deeper benefit. They're not seeing the deeper trick of them aligning with the beast. Them aligning with the same person who will kill them, kill their mama, and kill their baby if they got a chance, so that they can stay on top. We don't see that. But I'm going to get into it. I'm going to do a part 2. I got to get to this call. I love y'all. Peace. Send this, spread this around. We going to wake up the black nation. Fuck that shit. Peace.